about 19XX, man. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm gonna do a throwback Thursday for y'all. But long story short, I got locked up. But anyway, I'm free. I only spent one night in that motherfucker. But let's go ahead and get to the 1986. And I got 2 videos for y'all, bro. I miss y'all niggas, bro. Y'all better show me love.
A man and a woman walked down the dimly lit Fayetteville,
Damn.
North Carolina road.
Why you so low?
Vehicle cruises by. The occupants turning their heads to the pedestrians, almost as if scoping the night. The vehicle fades into the distance. Down the road, truck circles back, stops a short distance from where they saw the pair. 2 of the occupants hop out and walk in the pedestrian's direction. 3 shots ring out.
Damn.
Then another 3. By morning, the sloppy murder of the black pedestrians has practically been solved already. The revelations rocked the military with a new scope on the potential infiltration in the ranks. Skinheads. Gangs were one thing, and were known to have a presence in actively recruiting the military. But the presence of race hate groups was a better kept secret. The skinhead movement began in 1960s Britain as a working class subculture largely influenced by Jamaican music and style. It was about pride, rebellion, and unity across racial lines. But when the culture made its way to the US in the late 70s and early 80s, it split. On one side were traditional skinheads and sharps, skinheads against racial prejudice, who stayed true to the movement's diverse roots.
Guys, the other day I was talking to one of my friends, and somehow in the midst of conversation, we started talking about the stress of like bills being due.
The other, white
Some
power
bitch ass
skinheads
up, man.
hijacked the book, twisted the mission into a Through the 1980s and early 90s, these racist factions gained ground, fueled by racist music, prison gangs, and street violence. Hence the common perception of the word skinhead today. The rise of the skinheads coincided with assaults, desecrations of sites,
American X. I seen that. Y'all see it? Y'all
high-profile racist. The murder tally was as high as 41.
watch American X and A Higher Learning. That's a prime example.
22 being minorities or homosexual.
Great movies, by the way.
By December,
Definitely American X. American X is good. No cap.
across 40 states. Some of them resided at Fort Bragg, Fayetteville, North Carolina. Fort Bragg is home to the U.S. Army's elite 82nd Airborne Division, a decorated division that fought Hitler and the Nazis in key World War II battles. At Fort Bragg, 3 friends, James Burmeister of Thompson, Pennsylvania, Randy Meadows of Mulkeytown, Illinois, and Malcolm Wright of Lexington, Kentucky, had met and bonded over their mutual hate for minorities. They were known racists. In 1995, the Defense Department policy barred troops from actively participating in such groups, but it didn't ban membership. Whether the 3 were radicalized on or off the base remains unknown, as only Wright's hometown of Lexington, Kentucky, had any history of racial extremism. It's still highly likely they became sworn racists on base, considering neo-Nazi presence was an open secret at Fort Bragg. There was even a recruitment board encouraging soldiers to join the National Alliance, a white supremacist organization. Notably, Wade Michael Page went on to kill 7 people and himself in 2012's Wisconsin.
Weak ass nigga.
Was also stationed there in 1995. He had been radicalized at Fort Bragg. By December 1995, Burmeister had a particularly bad record. He was known for often saying that blacks would be rounded up and shipped to Africa or shot. He had pictures doing the Nazi salute in front of a Nazi flag with others. He had received an army reprimand and counseling because of his extremist views, and a security clearance had also been invoked after a fight with a black soldier. When they stood trial for what they were about to do, Burmeister's ex told the jury that Burmeister's skinhead affiliation started in early 1995.
Damn.
He hanged a Nazi flag in his room and listened to songs like The Third Reich, a white power anthem with lyrics about killing black descendants.
1988, bro. You a strong motherfucker to be recording shit. Boy, I would have been cussing.
It was also revealed that Wright told his former fiance that he had claimed to have killed a man in Florida 2 months before. As a proof, the trio had been involved in the beating of a black man who they believed was gay, spraying mace in the face of a black woman,
Damn.
Reportedly sold them drugs. They beat and sprayed mace on a black prostitute. It would seem that they were slowly pushing the boundaries of the violence they were willing to inflict on local
When do they die?
communities. One conversation would take things to the final level. Burmeister, Meadows, and Bright were drinking heavily one night at Burmeister's trailer. Bright had a spider tattoo on his elbow and bragged that it signified that a skinhead had killed a black person. A teardrop of the skinhead would. All the murder talk had Burmeister riled up. He wanted to up his rep and respect as well. Before the three left for dinner, he grabbed a 9mm pistol, stuffed it in his belt, told the other two that he might earn his tattoo that very night. They likely didn't take him seriously. After dinner, they got some more drinks off base, after which they decided to harass some local blacks, something they had done previously, just never to a murderous extent. Meadows drove while Burmeister and White scanned the streets for a place with dim lighting and anyone dark. While they cruised on a dirt road through a black working class neighborhood, they spotted a black couple walking. They circled the block, possibly to check potential witnesses. Meadows stopped and the other two got out. Before they did, Burmeister and White left their flight jacket, the jury, and Wallace in the car to prevent being ID'd. Burmeister then told Meadows to wait for them for 15 minutes, but to return to the barracks if they weren't back in 15. A few minutes later, Meadows heard 3 shots, silence, and 3 more. Jackie Burden and Michael James lay dead with 5 headshots between them. Miss Burden was also shot in the back. It wasn't a manhunt. Any intention
Man, what type of shit?
needed because Meadows.
These are some sick ass individuals. They better get some type of goddamn life sentence or lethal injections or something like that. Cause these motherfuckers are sick. And they always say black people the animals.
But his action did it. Flipped immediately. He waited like they had agreed. The other two didn't show up. However, Fayetteville PD was there in minutes. By 12:15, they found both victims dead. Meadows parked and approached the police lights and sirens. Meadows first told the officers that he lived in the neighborhood. And he told the officers that he had gotten lost after driving story. So they questioned Meadows some more. He took the officers to the car where they found 2 flight jackets, the German military insignia.
Welcome to Visible, the ultimate wireless app. It's one line.
Right there, Meadows confessed to the whole crime. After he took the officers to
Pussy.
Burmeister's trailer where the night had began, it turned out that a taxi driver picked up Burmeister and Wright after the crime and took them to the address of Burmeister's trailer. Neither had money to pay the fare, so they wrote their names, social security numbers, and military units down on a piece of paper and gave it to the taxi driver. They told him.
My bad, that my sister texted me. That's why I had to goddamn cut that out and all that.
Both were arrested a few hours later at the trailer.
Come
When
on.
cops searched the trailer, they found white supremacist literature, a bomb-making manual, a Nazi flag, pamphlets on Adolf Hitler,
This guy.
a magazine called Resistance, and a VHS tape of natural-born killers. The search also produced a 9mm semi-automatic pistol, a murder weapon. Michael had 3 children. His wife told reporters that her children didn't understand what was going on, given their limited grasp of racist hate.
Cause they don't teach it.
Randy Meadows would be the star witness. He testified that Burmeister told him in jail that he had killed the 2 people.
Racism is taught. Racism is taught.
Even joked.
But we all know that by now.
Service,
we know that.
and they put him in jail for it. Burmeister and Wright didn't yet know that Meadows was talking to the cops. Burmeister's defense argued that there was no proof that he fired the fatal shots and that he was too drunk to think clearly. They even brought in the pharmacologist to testify. The case drummed up a ton of publicity. His defense argued that all the media coverage prejudiced potential jurors, inhibiting a fair trial. His defense also tried to place the blame on Wright as the triggerman. As for the jurors, they sought the death penalty. They were keen to pass the message that society was tired of that kind of ignorance. 5 white people had been executed for killing a black person in the U.S. since the death penalty was reinstated in 1976. And if all 12 jurors voted unanimously, Burmeister would be the 6th. And in the end, dodged the death sentence by one vote. The female juror that held out did it only because
that motherfucker lucky. Oh, he lucky.
Burmeister received life without parole instead.
Oh, he still fucked.
As for Malcolm Wright, because of the publicity stemming from Burmeister's conviction, his trial was moved to Wilmington, 100 miles from the crime scene.
And that's
Wright was sentenced to life without parole as well.
bye-bye.
Meadows received a much lighter sentence because of his cooperation. In light of the incident, convictions and a wave of civil rights protests, Army Secretary Togo D. West Jr. initiated a worldwide inquiry into extremist activity on U.S. military bases. It revealed 22 soldiers in the 82nd Airborne Division had active, passive, or former links to extremist groups.
That's
9
crazy.
of the 22 faced discharge.
So you do got to cut your hair when you go to the military.
Receive lesser punishment. 3-month investigation.
That's why I ain't go.
Although extremist groups were active in towns near Army bases, they weren't targeting soldiers for recruitment. And out of 7,600 soldiers interviewed, about 100 admitted to being part of white supremacist groups. About 3.5% said they had been approached to join one after joining the military. The report forced the Army to take action. It made clear rules about involvement in hate groups, better screening during enlistment, new training to help soldiers suss out extremist behavior, and guidelines for commanders on how to handle similar situations. Burmeister was incarcerated at Central Prison in Raleigh, North Carolina. Before long, he was attacked by black prisoners. He was moved to prison in Colorado in October 1998 as a result. He died in the Missouri Prison Hospital in 2007. And as for the military, despite the last-minute policy implementation,
that's what his ass get. RIP to the victims. All the victims.
After all, this happened in 1995, not 1925. Nothing had been done and things were clearly getting planned for Fort Bragg, and it culminated in a cowardly double murder. As far as public perception of the military, the actions communicate. We won't act until something very public happens.
Yeah. This was a crazy story, bro. It's hateful people out here in this world. You know what I'm saying? Racist people out here in the world, like really racist people like this, like these scumbags. Um, Give me your opinion about this video. I'm back. I'm gonna post 2 videos today, probably 2 videos tomorrow, 2 videos tomorrow, Sunday, and we're gonna do Mr. Ballin' probably Monday or Tuesday. I ain't gonna lie to you. I've been gone, bro. But make sure I give you a thumbs up, like, subscribe. Or I might just gonna do Mr. Ballin' tomorrow. That being said, see when I see y'all. Let's ride, nigga. Close